hold this fucking L. You holding this L, bro. I fuck with you, but you're holding this L for this one. Today, you get the L, bro. I'm sorry.
Warning. If you are one that is easily triggered, click off now. These are cold facts, ugly truths, and my opinion. You've been warned.
We got it right there. So this was his tweet, right? It goes, and this was from what, a week ago? About a week ago?
Well, we could go.
So the quickest path to becoming a high value man: number one, don't get married, avoid family creation, vasectomy in your 20s, lift consistently, eliminate all sedations, learn game and networking, play to your strengths, build wealth, resist easing up on your focus. And it's the quickest path to becoming a high value man. And I know that, you know, Sneako had some point of contention specifically with number 3, which is get a vasectomy in your 20s.
Can I just ask, why did he need 8 points? Did he like get contracted to write all 8 of these? Because like I see some duplication. So like number 2, avoid family creation. Number 3, vasectomy in your 20s.
It's kind of the
Couldn't
same.
that be like collapsed into 1 point? Did he need 8? Did he feel stupid with like 6 or 7? Or
okay, I mean,
what is high value man?
I think he means what he means in this context is being a guy that's like desirable to women and being attractive to women, so that you'll be I guess a marketable sexual partner.
Well, but that doesn't make sense, right? Like avoid family creation and get a vasectomy and like be attractive to men.
But no. It's because
women, right?
Again, like I said it before, I'll say it again because you're here. So he gave the instructions to hard proof it, right? Because when you give advice, typically you have to, you know, appeal to the lowest common denominator. So like there's guys out there, right, that could have been, I'm being honest here. There's guys out there that, you know, could have played basketball back in the day, maybe football, whatever, and their career got smashed because they got a girl pregnant and they couldn't pursue what they want to do because they had to be a dad early.
True.
So what he's saying is, okay, this is how you mitigate risk so you could become a higher status guy. We're going to eliminate all the things that could f you up. Now, I want to make this very clear for some of y'all because some of you guys don't understand. I'm not saying I advocate for vasectomies or whatever. I don't have one. I've never gotten one. But what I am saying is that given the context of what he's tweeting for this specific situation, it makes sense because he's saying, hey, these are the ways so that you don't f yourself up to ensure that you're going to be successful. He's hard proofing it.
But that is a pretty retarded advice because you're saying do this so that you become more attractive to women. So what's even the point of having a relationship with a woman if you can't have kids with her? Then you're just having an empty relationship just to f her for your whole life. And then what?
He's saying to become high value, which means you make the choice. Do I want to do that or not? So he's give you the choice to do that, but once to become high
Myron
value.
just said that it's to become high value, to become attractive to a woman.
Those things are to mitigate f-ups.
Yeah.
So that you get on your path to becoming higher status. That's to mitigate f-ups. It's not about this is so you can fucking have a bunch of kids and have a family. That's not the advice. The advice is this is how you mitigate f-ups in your 20s.
So this list, it is a bit flawed, if you will. They were taken out of context. You look at something, and this is everything. Somebody won't understand the context behind it, and then they will put their own context behind it or form their own opinion and be like, oh, well, you know, what about this? What about that? I agree with the fact that vasectomies and avoid family creation or procreation, he could have choose one or the other. Vasectomies are on the extreme side. He could just avoid having children with other contraceptives. The tier list is basically saying the fastest possible way to get to a high status or to be a high value man. The list was to avoid all distractions, basically. These things that he's listed out are distractions, things that could potentially stray you off of your path to success. And success comes in many different forms. My definition of a high value man: being financially free, being in pretty good shape, being respected by men, and being wanted by women. Everybody's list may vary to some degree, but that's how I took it. Let's get back into it.
However, question for you guys on the panel. If you had a kid, be honest here, would you be where you're at right now?
Destiny had a kid in his early 20s.
Yeah. No. Well, oh, you did?
Yeah, he had a kid in his early 20s.
Okay.
He's very successful.
But I mean, no, it was a lot of difficulty, of course, yeah.
But be honest, though. Your kid is amazing, I bet. But at the same time, it did hold you back a little bit.
No, yeah, of course, yeah.
Sneako, for you, would you be in the same spot? Honestly.
If I had a kid, at what age are you talking about?
Early, like 20.
I mean,
no, you wouldn't be. That's the point here.
Yeah, who knows where I would have been? My life would have been a completely different life.
The point is you might not even be here.
The thing I've noticed also with Destiny and Sneako, these guys, they don't agree on a lot of things, right? But here, it's almost like they are intentionally trolling the panel. They are intentionally trying to find flaws, any loophole they can to challenge their logic or what they're saying. His success would have been stunted from the birth of that child. That's all they say.
Okay. So let me explain a few things here. I wasn't able to do this the last time you guys were talking about this, but so about, gosh, is it now 2 weeks ago? I think it was Tuesday of last week. You guys had Brandon Carter on. Is that basically a throwaway tweet that everyone started like snowballing into something else? I've got Ben Shapiro coming at me. I got Matt Walsh coming at me. I got Lauren Chen coming at me. I got all these people off of Daily Wire because it was just easy, low-hanging fruit for these guys because they think that that's what the fucking manosphere is all about. And it's not, okay? That was not fucking advice. Everything that is on Twitter is not advice, okay?
Was that a joke?
No, it was not necessarily a joke, but it's like, let's just say it's a hypothetical, okay? It's showing you. Now, listen, hypothetical up for just 5 seconds, okay? This is no fucking joke here because everything that's come out of both of you guys' mouth has been nothing but distraction and misdirection because it's easy fucking clicks for you. So here's the whole thing. When I'm talking about get a vasectomy, don't be concerned with. I like
when he's mad, his glasses get uneven on his nose. You see?
Yeah, let him finish.
Okay.
Destiny and Sneako are doing. I've seen Sneako do it before when DJ Academics got into it with that one girl. Did a video on that a while back. DJ Academics and Sneako were playing too much. Destiny and Sneako honestly are playing too much. And I will tell you, Rollo, where he f***ed up was Rollo did not hold frame. One of the main things that he preaches in the red pill logic and these ideologies of being a alpha male and being a high value man, one of the major key points or talking points is holding frame, which means not letting your emotions, which they say women tend to do, not letting your emotions get the best of you and lashing out. Rollo in Exhibit A is portraying those emotions. He's kind of being counterintuitive to what he preaches, and it backfires on him. Let's get back into it.
Really mad about this, bro.
Guys,
Shall we keep going? Are we just gonna have jokes thrown in here?
Really heated about this.
Is that what I get to? Is that what I get to do it? Okay, so here's the deal.
Go ahead.
When I'm talking about this, when I'm throwing this out there, why wouldn't you do that? Would you not have been more successful, Sneako, had you not had to go through certain things? If you had a kid right now,
is it advice or not?
You would be playing the game with a handicap. You would be playing the game with your hands tied behind your back.
Okay, so
there are guys right now who I have a lot of respect for, and I'm sure you have a lot of respect for as well, who all have kids, but you know what they try to do? Try to keep it under wraps.
Okay,
try
so
to make sure nobody knows about the fucking kids. Okay.
What is advice?
So here's okay. First off, this is not advice. Everything that is on my show or is on Twitter is not automatically advice. Now, but here's the thing. You know what you're gonna say, because here's the deal. When I was on whatever podcast I was telling this, I was saying exactly the same thing here, is that everything that comes out of somebody's mouth on Instagram or on Twitter or on a YouTube, there's no way you can't go on there without somebody going, this is what these guys are saying to do. Because if you have this set automatically, that if it comes out of your mouth, it's automatically advice. It can't just be data. It can't just be statistics. Nothing can be just delivered.
Any social media with the comment box, somebody can take something, it's clear cut, right? Concise. And some person in that comment section, even if it's just one, some person will find a way to flip it, script it, dip it, and reverse it, and make that sound like some, demonic, satanic, and otherworldly and try to make you and paint you as a goddamn demon. Everything is not to be taken as law, right? There's a lot of things that people say that should not be taken out of context or be taken literally. People say things in figurative manners, and that does not mean, oh, well, he said this, so that's what he means. No, not all the time. You can say analogies, hyperboles, it's just a different way of getting your point across. If I want to dedicate myself and 100% of myself to my craft, I should mitigate all distractions, and that includes children and women, and staying laser focused on your purpose.
Nothing can be given to you without somebody going, well, the reason why you're telling me this is because you're telling me that this is the best way to live my life. Okay. So when I'm watching Brendan Carter and I'm watching all this going on, and I'm looking at like guys that I know and guys that you know as well. And when these are the guys who are like saying, be on your game, do this, do that. They're the ones that are giving this advice. All I'm doing is saying, hey, look, maybe you should not focus on family. Maybe you should not get married. I mean, I don't know why that's big.
Maybe advice.
I'm not saying it's advice. What I'm saying is that is this over the in top that everybody wants to take it out of context, which is exactly what you guys have been doing.
So what is it? Can you tell me what that tweet was if it wasn't advice?
It's not advice. What it is it's okay.
Could have just been an opinion.
It's saying that this is the most extreme way to do things. Okay, here's the quickest path to. If I told you this, look, if I said the quickest way for you to make $1 million,
that sounds like advice.
Is to go steal it from the bank or go to steal it. Does that mean I'm telling you to go steal it? If you were to actually follow this list right here, that is the fastest way for you to get to a point where you are more high value. Right. But here's the thing. So when I say that, people go, well, that's not what a high value man is. A high value man is what I define it as, which is he's got to have a good, loving, devoted wife. He's got to have 3 or 4 kids or 10 kids, depending on whatever culture you're talking about. All of this stuff that makes up whatever that person who happens to have that is, then that's suddenly the definition of what a high value man is. So what I'm saying this is the best way to become a high value man. I'm not saying this is the only way to become a high value man. I'm just saying that this is the fastest way to go and do something like that.
We've been talking a lot for 5 minutes. What is your definition of a high value man?
It doesn't matter. That's not what I was talking about in this.
It doesn't matter.
Isn't it literally what you're talking about? That's what the first part of the tweet is: how to become a high value man.
Okay, and this is another point where Rollo just pretty much self-destructs. What he's doing is exactly what the females that Fresh and Fit all ridicule on the panel every week do. They're dancing around the issue, they're dancing around the question. They can't answer anything directly. They answer a question with the question. Nothing direct. They're talking in hyperboles and talking in synonyms and shit. It's not making any sense. They're going around instead of giving their direct, concise answer. They hit them with some bullshit. Oh, well, I mean, what I like doesn't matter.
This way to become a high value man is to recognize the fact that you've got sacrifices to make. Okay.
It's like grandpa telling like stories from Vietnam. Like, just say, what is a high value man? It's the first part of the tweet. What does that mean?
You tell me what a high value man is. Because here's the thing: is it doesn't matter what I'm going to say as a high value man. You guys
because it's your fucking tweet.
It doesn't matter what I say as a high value man because everybody takes this. The point of the fucking tweet is that everybody is going to take this and then insert their own definition of what a high value man is.
What if a high value man is having 12 kids when you're 16? Then your tweet doesn't work, does it? What if your definition of a high value man is being getting into a trade and having 5 kids by the time you're 22? Then it also high value man is being an esports professional.
You're absolutely making my point for me right here. Okay, this is what I'm saying.
My point is a high value man. You gave a list of 8 things. Do these 8 things to become a high value man. Do 1 through 8 to become A, and you're not defining what A is.
The fastest way to becoming a high value man is these things.
What is that?
Okay. So here's the thing. So if we're talking about family creation, we already talked. Okay, so you want to go? Okay, let's go one by one. Do you want to go one by one? Okay,
no,
so
I want to go before one by one. What is a high value man?
We can't have an argument if I don't even know what your definition
point is. The very fact that you're even asking me this in the first place is the actual point of the fucking tweet. Okay, so if you're going to be a high value man with the hands tied behind your back, then what is that? What does that mean to you? That's the point. This whole discussion is the point of the fucking tweet.
You guys, one of the tweet was, you've got some conception of a high value man. Here are 8 points that you think you need to do to get to it. And now you've gotten blown the on the vasectomy thing, which you probably realize is retarded, but you're too old and stubborn to walk back from it. That's the point of this conversation.
I'm not too stubborn to walk back from it because the point of it was to get douche nozzles like yourself to have this conversation in the first place.
How old are you, bro? Douche nozzles?
Yes. You guys are fucking idiots. Why do you guys come in here from Twitch stream? Like, how you guys are legitimate in all of this?
I'm not gonna fucking cat. I played that back like 5 times. This to me, bro.
I don't know because everything I've heard come out of you guys' mouth is just confident ignorance.
I'm asking, no, Myron. Okay, I'm not asking you like in terms of the debate. You call yourself the godfather of the red pill. You
call myself the godfather of the manosphere, okay? Other people have called me that.
Okay, great. That's very.
Do you understand?
Okay, so as
godfather or grandfather of the man, which one is it?
Whatever it is, the old guy of the manosphere. What is your definition of high value man? This is the #1 talked about topic on all of these shows. So I want to get a clear definition from you. What is it?
You tell again, it depends on the person. It depends on the culture. Depends on the. So here's the thing. Let me tell you. Maybe I can explain this to you, Sneako, because at least you got your ears open here. The thing is that when we're talking about what's the top G, what's a high value guy, you probably haven't heard this because you don't read my stuff and you don't watch my shit. No. But I've also said this is like the red pill has to be for everybody or it's for nobody. So if we're looking at a guy who's draped across a Lamborghini and he's got hot chicks with him and we say that's what I'm aspiring to, but I'll never make that because I live in a fishing village on the coast of Chile, right? That means I can never match that high apex of a high value guy.
The guy in the car?
But the guy who happens to live in those villages or happens to be in a different culture or in a different country or whatever else, he can still benefit from that because however he's defining himself as a high value man in his fishing village, maybe that's what he can aspire to.
This has nothing to do with Chile and the village and the car.
See, here's the thing: is you guys want me to say, okay, a high value man makes $100,000 a year. He's 50 chicks. He's got like that's the thing. That's
not what I want you to say.
Rollo, bro. Rollo, just answer the question. Of course, if you are somewhere else, that is a given. If you are in the third world country, you're not going to have the same standard of being a high value man as somebody in the first world country, right? But this is not the question that's being asked. Just answer the question, bro.
Disagree with that. I'm asking you because I come on this all the time.
Disagree with it. What I'm saying is the point of the tweet is so you'll ask that question.
I'm past the tweet. I'm past that. Look, I'm asking as somebody who's really interested in the red pill. I listen to a lot of this content. I want to know what your definition is, because if you have a definition that's completely off of what I think it is, then I guess I'm not red pill.
Well, here's what I think guys ought to do. Would you like me to give you some prescriptions? Is that what we're trying for here?
No, I want to know your opinion of a high value man. What is it?
I think a high value man is whatever is contextually makes that guy a high value guy in whatever culture that he happens to be in. If that's money, that's money. Right now, that's what we tend to focus on right now. But if I'm going to say that,
high value man is a guy that has the things that makes him a high value man. That's
the things that make you a high value man. Okay, what is that? You know, we've been trying to. We're never going to define it.
We just kind of because here's the thing. When I read the tweet, I interpreted it right.
How many ways can you say no? How many ways can you say yes? Ask them, how do you define yourself as a high value man?
Do you want? It's impossible to put anything out there without people interpreting it as follow these steps. Here's your 12 rules for life, and you're going to live a happy
rules for being a high value man. That's literally what your tweet was. Do these things. High value. What is the wording of the tweet? Go back to the tweet itself.
So here's in that wording of the tweet. What's the last part of that? What's the last one? Resist easing up on your focus. Whatever's like, do you want me to insert what you ought to be doing? You ought to be coding. Is that what I should say? You ought to be becoming a professional athlete. I don't know what your strengths are.
You can simplify and say work hard.
Again, so here's the thing. If I say, you know what, you ought to be an NBA player. And it doesn't matter if that you're 5'9", fucking stay on your focus and you're going to be the best NBA player you can possibly be.
No, that'd be terrible advice.
That would be absolutely terrible advice because this is advice. That's why. Okay, this is a list that is meant to get so you get an idea of what the it is that you're going to do so that you can become that high value man.
Rollo, bro, hold this L. You holding this L, bro. I f with you, but you're holding this L for this one. Today you get the L, bro. I'm sorry. I've talked to some of my guys about this. Any ideology, any belief system, anything that could alter your perception of life, you have to, at some point, you have to take bits and pieces from what it is. You don't have to fully agree on any given text, Bible, Quran. You don't have to agree 100% on anything. I don't 100% agree on everything with the red pill, men going their own way. I recently joined a Facebook group, bro, thinking that these guys were, for men's self-improvement. They're the polar opposite of feminism, right? It's like they have a hatred for ladies, bro. I posted a couple things and I'm just reading some of the responses. Hey, bro, calm down, man. Look, I don't hate women. Hope any of the guys that follow me, I hope none of these guys hate women. We like to understand them, learn from them, and use tools to effectively date and coexisting with women. I don't want anybody to get that twisted. I don't 100% agree on anything. Just like red pill, there are people in a belief or religion or whatever you want to call it, any ideology, there are people that take it to the extreme. There are people that are on the extreme side and will exacerbate. They will blow everything out of proportion, out of context, make it less favorable for people that's just coming in. So somebody can say like, oh no, this is not right. Their first perception, their first experience with this type of ideology was from somebody that was on the extreme side of the situation, right? They don't understand, or they don't realize that, oh, there could be people that agree with certain aspects of it, but that don't take or don't go that hard in it. Right? So they just assume everybody's like that. You take everything with a grain of salt. You take things in and then you spit out what you don't need. You take what you need from it. If you define that as something that is tangible and wholesome advice, you use that and put that in your toolkit, bro. But nothing is law. Nothing is written in stone. There is no wrong opinion. Remember that. There is no such thing as a wrong opinion. If y'all enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and make sure y'all down y'all's grocery teas. It's your boy Alex. Catch y'all on the next one.